welcome back to Hideous Tomfoolery. We have grown in number. We have an extra, well, not an extra, another person on the party here. We've introduced another character, and because of that, there is the concern with the natural 20 board. So we now have 3 Southern Tomfooleries versus 2 Hideous Laughter. So Griffin, do you want to explain what we're going to do to kind of balance that out?
Of course, dude. I mean, I love the friendly rivalry. I'm stuck with Steve, so we all know who's going to lose. But I think it's only fair that because we have a different number of people, that we kind of just divide our totals by the amount of people we have rolling. So I think we should still keep Adam separate. I mean, he's the GM of this. He's rolling far more than the rest of us.
Well, he's rolling against all of us. Yeah.
So fuck that. But I think we take mine and Steve's totals, divide by 2, and we take Zach, Emily, and Heath's and divide by 3. Does that seem fair?
Per capita.
Per capita.
Fair.
Which sucks because it means that I've technically gotten 2.5 natural ones.
All right. So I'd like to say that some people consider me the anchor of this team. However, the anchor is a very integral part of a ship. So, I'm important.
I'm considering it like...
especially when you're not trying to get somewhere.
We're a ship that's trying to leave port, and you've remained anchored.
Dude, I don't want to go to sea.
And now you're tearing my bow apart.
I don't want to go to sea. I don't particularly want to fight the swarm. I want to be safe.
Rolling that one.
Well,
Steve, I just want you to know I appreciate what you're doing, man. As a healer main, like,
yeah,
I see you out there. I see you, dog.
At least your healer main has other methods.
Yeah. Well, okay, so Zach, welcome to Hideous Tomfoolery.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, round of applause for Zach, man.
Yeah. Hey, man.
I literally threatened every single one of you.
You did.
In order to get on the show.
I was held at gunpoint. He said, listen.
Maybe that's a little too harsh. I don't want to lie to people and think that I'm like doing something.
Hey, man, Zach, I just want to say it's really good to meet you.
Nice meeting you, bud.
You too.
I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Beginning of a long friendship, I think.
I'll take over the gravelly voice from here.
I know. Like, look, first of all, I do want to say that it is very tough for me to try to keep my character's accent going when Heath is doing a southern accent, which is already infectious, and then Griff is doing a gravelly accent. And I want to break into something that I'm not supposed to do so bad. So it's going to be tough, but I'm going to try.
It's a good challenge. Well,
I mean, I feel you. You're like a chipper kind of like Cockney thing too, though. So, like, I get a little bit of that.
It's Kiwi.
A little Mike, maybe.
Well, I was feeling Kiwi, but okay.
Okay, that's cool.
Well, I mean, going even further back, the problem with Mike is that I went for Cockney, but I had just gotten done playing an Australian character. So it's all over the place.
Somewhere in between. Speaking of things that are out of line, though, all of your accents, yes. But also, I heard a can crack, and we have not asked what people are drinking.
Oh, that's important.
Well, get us going then.
Well, we'll go with the main offender. Zach, what are you drinking, buddy?
I am drinking another Susie B this evening because they are delicious.
Speaking of delicious, Heath, what you drinking, buddy?
Oh, didn't think it was coming my way, but I love it. I'm drinking Modelo, the dark one.
So you can't set them up for the same one.
I can do what I want.
Fair.
Grown ass man.
I can do what I want to. Adam, what you drinking?
Hey, I'm sticking with the gin and tonic for this one too. So that's where I'm at.
Well, speaking of somebody that's also where I'm at, Steve.
Hi, Griff.
What you drinking, bud?
This is Steve Strapple here from the Hideous Laughter podcast.
You're going to do this every time.
I play Matumbe and Saw on the Evil Interludes. Tonight, I'm going to be drinking a Fresca and Gin, the classy beverage of mixed beverages.
Speaking of the only classy person on this podcast, Emily, what you drinking?
I really thought you were going to kick it to yourself, but I appreciate it.
I don't
I'll
have
take
that
it.
much pride.
I too am sticking with the same thing that I had last time. The Not Your Father's root beer, because it's yummy.
So, I mean, I hate to break the veil over here, but it's like none of us changed any alcohol because, like, we're just recording the second time in the same day.
Yeah.
Speaking of people that have changed alcohol, hey, it's me, Griff. The only person
There it
preserving
is.
continuity of this podcast. I'm drinking a George Remus bourbon, straight bourbon whiskey, 94 proof. It's going down smooth by itself because I finished my Celsius.
Look,
I'm ready to rock.
I'm only here, or at least like 55% of the reason I'm here is to set you up for your transitions.
That's what, like, you got to get in that stride because I need some people on my side. Like, usually I have
I'm
Brooks
doing
and
good.
he's on my side, but,
I think
new
we'll
group
get there.
of people. I don't know.
We're still feeling it out. I think we'll get there, and we're all still a little hungover too.
I'm there.
Like,
Yeah, guys, congrats on episode 50.
yeah,
What
thank
the
you,
hell?
thank
Yeah.
Thank you.
We
I
did.
almost threw up the next morning, so I can't imagine how you guys felt.
We almost
That's probably
threw up
'cause of
before we started doing the stream. So
I literally did. We took another shot of Jameson,
True story.
and there was like 4 minutes left, and I took too large of a shot and breathed weird, and like I just stood at the table doing little burps to try
burps,
to
baby
try
burp.
to
Classic move.
try to get the
Classic
vomit
baby
to go
burp.
away until they were like, "Hey, we got to record."
yeah, I mean, like we were sitting there, like places, and he's just sitting there.
As a man who's done that for a while, if you guys are getting into that, just call me Shadowfax, because I'll show you the meaning of pace.
Oh wow!
Man,
Fly,
Griffin, take
I
an
wasn't
inspiration.
sure where you were going with that, Griff, but you got us there, man.
I brought it
You
around,
got us
yeah.
there.
Speaking of pace, you guys outpaced the swarm and made it across the bridge, and you also made it just in time before the bridge blew, and
Most of it.
and you are now at Fort Gallant, and you have met a new companion by the name of Vin. I think that's what we're going to go with, right? Vin or Vinny.
Yeah, that works.
And this lieutenant has told you that immediately upon your arrival that the commander general would like to speak to you and get a report. And so he's leading you to her office. So he takes you to one of the few two-story structures in the camp. And he ushers you up a small external metal staircase. And the door at the top has a placard outside that reads, Commander General Darkwing. As you step inside...
Duck?
Fucking took it out of my mouth.
Duck. As you step inside, you are hit with the unmistakable smell of antiseptic and blood. The office inside is a mess, with a large wooden desk in the center and piles of data pads and electronic maps pushed onto the floor. A human woman in a long military coat lies on a table being tended to by a pair of STF medics. A name tag on her shoulder reads H. Najiri. Her left leg is badly hurt, which is a bit of an understatement considering that most of the muscle and flesh has been ripped to shreds and the underlying bone is visible. The wound looks fairly recent, but the signs of infection are already apparent. She bites down on the leather handle of a survival knife as one of the medics finishes cutting through her femur with a laser scalpel. The destroyed leg falls to the ground with a sickening thud, and the woman stifles a scream as she jabs herself with a serum of healing. When she notices you, she focuses her attention to you, and the medics continue their work. She says, You all just crossed the Detamar. Welcome to Fort Gallant. The Commander General is dead. His second died of his wounds a few hours ago, and I'm what's left of the command structure here. The name is Commander Hideous Najiri. I apologize for the blood. Just got back a few hours ago from fighting off the swarm to the south. One of the little buggers snuck up on me while I was pulling the pin from a grenade. I nearly took my leg off. Our field medic didn't survive the ambush, and the trek here didn't do the wound any favors. Instead of hobbling around for the rest of the war, I opted for a cybernetic replacement. If you don't mind being debriefed while the good doctors here do their work, I'd like to hear how you made it out of Brnoa alive.
Oh boy, Adam. I'm very excited about this. So,
I'm glad. I put this in here just for you.
oh, thank you. So as the leg falls to the ground as she's saying this, smelling blood and antiseptic, Natasi breathes really deep, and kind of sighs to herself. When she asks for a debrief, Natasi will respond back, "Before we continue, are you sure you're ready for command? I can check to see if you're diseased or poisoned if you like. See if the wound is infected."
I think that the medics here have that under control. I appreciate your offer, but I would like to hear how you arrived here first.
I'll let them do their jobs then. Natasi kind of takes a step back. She's not going to debrief.
She's like, fine then, I don't want to help you. Whatever.
Could have saved that leg, but fuck you.
So I'm sorry, I am stupid. What was the name of our previous superior? You guys remember? Jaldamarek. Okay. Yeah, so I mean, your boy Tex steps forward a little bit, takes his hat off, bows a little bit. Pleasure to meet you, ma'am. Feller by the name of Jaldamarek sent us along, and unfortunately, to ensure the success of that endeavor, he sacrificed himself to the swarm.
Yes, I had heard that Jaldamarek has fallen. That is most distressing. He was a good man.
He trusted us enough to give us this badge. And Sig would kind of like shine it.
Gives her
on
the sheriff's
chest of his
badge
armor,
that
the
has
sheriff's
text
badge
written
that has
on it.
Text just crossed out Jaldamarek. My name's not Tex. It's fine.
He trusted us with his badge, which we immediately defaced.
Well, I did.
She says, well, you must wear this with honor then. If he gave it to you, I am not here to take it from you. And you must be something special to have gotten such an achievement. Now, please, tell me how it is that you got here.
Cross that bridge that got blown up.
Yeah, you want every hour of our walk over here? Because it took some time.
I mean, yeah, so you guys can just say that you give her kind of the summary. Is there any particular things of note that you want to relate to her that you think is important, or?
We would, Yvari would kind of say the types of swarm that we encountered along the way.
Yeah, I think as Yuvari's like explaining they're the dredgers, right, that we fought initially.
Yeah.
Like, Sig would be like doffing armor and showing like the size of like the bite wound of one of these things like scarred into him. Yeah. Because these things hit him and Yvari like a truck.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I mean, they were like, to level 1 characters, they were doing like 7 and 8 HP of damage, like taking out his stamina in a shot.
Yeah.
And so I imagine he would still have the scars of those combats on him. And he'd be like, yeah, like the jaw's about, I don't know, 1.5 feet wide.
About yay.
Shit
about
sucks.
Yay.
Like it got my whole shoulder in one bite.
So hold on, to piggyback on that, I think Tex would do the same with the Scyther Centaurs that shot the like
Scyther Centaurs.
Yeah, that shot the like weird they shot a prongy thing into him.
A dart, yeah, like a spine.
Darts, yeah.
Like a little spine, yeah. Mm-hmm. A barb.
Yeah, so he probably still has the barb, I feel like.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, she takes a look at that. Natasi, while they're talking, I want you to roll a perception check. But in the meantime, I'm going to show you what she looks like too. I forgot to do that, but here is what she looks like. She's got kind of a short cropped hair, dark skin, quite pretty. You know, she's got like a little notch in her eyebrow, brown eyes, and she looks very interested in what you're telling her and what you're showing her about the swarm and the components and making notes. What did you roll in that perception?
Can I actually ask you first what exactly I'm percepting for? What kind of
so you're watching
sensor maybe?
So you're watching the doctors that are working on her, the medics. Mm-hmm. So I mean, you can roll a medicine if you'd prefer.
Would that give me different information?
It's not really about that.
Okay, because I rolled a natural 1 on that perception.
How dare it, Steve!
All right.
Put it on the board, huh?
Put you guys at 6.
All right, go ahead.
These
and
are
roll.
all on you, bro.
But the perception comes up to a 9. If I can also roll a medicine,
No, you can roll a separate perception. How about that? Or no, roll a separate medicine rather.
Steve,
Okay.
please roll it with your other hand. Like, give your dice the stranger.
Left-handed
go,
rolling, dude.
left-handed
or
roll.
just
I don't
use
think
your
I've
other
ever done
hand
that
to take yourself
before.
out of the room. Give me the character sheet and let me roll it.
Griff, you gotta look at this shit.
Holy
shit!
Is it serious?
Do you know? Since we've been like the last episode into this episode, that is your 5th natural 1 in a row, dude.
Yeah.
Steve, are
God.
you
That's
okay?
Insane.
Steve, you need to take a hammer and just smash that D20, bro. It's not doing you any favors.
I've been rotating between 3
Yeah,
different
that's the
D20s.
problem. He's now won on 3 or 4 different die.
That's amazing.
This is so statistically absurd. That is 5 in a row.
It seems like that Commander Najiri was right about not having you help with the prosthetic attachment. Because you notice nothing, nor do you have anything to add to the situation with those kind of roles. I'm sorry to hear about it. In the meantime,
I'm just staring at her stump.
in the meantime,
That's what all the girls like to hear.
she's like gritting through some of the pain. She says, "Well, this is very interesting. Thank you for your report. Do you have any questions?"
Yeah, I do.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Tex.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, good buddy.
No, you're good, buddy. You're more charismatic than me.
You are absolutely correct. Yeah, so I mean, what's the fucking situation here? We just got blown across a bridge.
Very charismatic.
Look, charisma manifests in a lot of ways. But he's being direct with her. But I'm not trying to be rude. But like, what's the situation here with this base and the overall status of the war at hand? I mean, looks like we're getting our fucking asses kicked.
Yes, communications are spotty. Intel suggests the swarm knocked out our satellites before touching down in 3 main landing sites. To the north, in Naliasanga, to the south, in Kausa Orthro, and of course, Bernoa. We are still waiting on casualty reports to calculate how bad the damage is. But it is looking like a nightmare scenario right now. A full swarm air and ground invasion force, millions strong.
Okay, well, what resources do you have here?
Well, now that we have taken down all the bridges across the Detomar River, we have some time to regroup and rest, maybe even a day or 2. For now, we sit tight until we get additional orders and protect those civilians under our roof.
Okay, well, that didn't say anything about resources.
We don't have much in resources. I cannot sugarcoat this to you. It is a bad situation.
No, you got no ships over here, anything like that? Cars, vehicles?
We have a few vehicles. Right now, our focus is on protecting the civilians and trying to get them.
Civilians.
The last count was near 150. It's not enough. Too many have died.
Miss Najiri,
Commander
we showed you
Najiri.
our scars and told you about where we came from, and I'm just wondering, well, have you ever heard of these types of swarm? Are they new?
The dredgers are something new. I have not seen these before. The Forthama, they have been rare before, but they seem to be much more present in this attack. I do not know what it means. From all reports, this seems like a new invasion force. Given the tactics the Swarm have used in the past on other planets, this seems to be an offensive strategy where it moves as quickly as possible from location to location in order to overrun defensive forces before anyone can muster a counterattack via orbital bombardment. But who knows how much of the Space Corps command is even still intact. So our air support might never come.
Yeah, the old blitz / shock and awe tactics, huh?
Seems to be the case, yes.
Well, so we may have bought ourselves a little bit of time, and that's good. But if we're gonna regroup over the next day or so, what's the plan, and B, how many actual fighting men and women are we dealing with here?
There is only 20 to 30 soldiers here at this camp. It is not good, soldier. However, our quartermaster did make it with a few crates of things, so you might want to talk to Jankser first if you need to resupply your ammo. You have done well. I think you have earned some well-needed rest, and the quartermaster is quite resourceful. She can fabricate gear we don't have on hand, if it's within reason. The lieutenant will set you up with an allowance of UPBs. Make them count. We cannot afford to requisition more. And she gives each of you a medallic order form engraved with an allowance of 1,000 UPBs.
Lit.
Nice.
That's what's up.
She says, but, and like as they twist the final bit of the augmented leg onto her, I think that I need some time to recoup. You are dismissed, soldiers.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
So as we turn to walk out, Vin will kind of address the group and say, pardon me, governors, but I just heard that we got no resources, no plan, and no reinforcements.
Yes, sir?
Reckon me mum was right after all.
Yep.
And he just shakes his head and just keeps walking.
If we're being honest, we're kind of fucked here, but we just pretty much got paid to try to do something about it.
Yeah,
and it's not
money and no goods.
Well, it's not like we're getting off the planet.
Can any of you turn 5,000 UPBs into unfucked?
I mean, if I was at a casino, maybe.
Good point. Oh, so are we heading to the quartermaster, or are we taking a rest first?
Yeah, you have an option. So as you leave, the lieutenant that escorted you there is waiting right outside the door. And he says, yes, well, I can direct you here. And he points over towards the barracks where you can get some rest. And then he says, and the quartermaster's tent is over there. And he points to you kind of on either sides of this fort's courtyard, which is kind of filled with civilians and soldiers and stuff like that.
Look, I don't know about you fellas. I'm tired and all that, but I want to check out this quartermaster and see what we're working with.
Yeah, I think that's a good call, Tex. Hey, Vin, I don't know if we got a chance. You know, it's a short ride over, but be good to know what you're good at. I'm good at taking a hit. I mean, it fucking hurts, but I can at least turn it into something. What do you do?
Well, me dad was a nanotechnician and me mum was an elf, so, just combine the two and see what happens.
Alright, that doesn't really help with the kind of gear you're gonna want.
I feel like that's particularly vague.
Some sort of techno elf.
I think y'all, oh god, I'm doing text.
Get out of here.
I think y'all, technomancer, to put simply.
Ah,
That'd be a big help to us. You're probably a pretty clever guy.
Yeah, and none of us are.
Yeah.
It's weird how stupid we all are.
We're dumb. I'm charismatic as hell, but I'm
dumb
not
as bricks.
smart. So in order to, I imagine we would all kind of explain to him what we're about and good at. I'm good at three things, and that's sweet talking, drinking whiskey on the porch, and summoning shit from another plane called Texas, somewhere on another planet.
The gods grace me with Betty. So I got one thing I gotta do. Raise Betty. In defense of you. Well, everyone but Yavari is pretty fucking squishy.
Yeah, Bam-a-lam.
Whoa, Black Betty. Bam-a-lam. In Bam-a-lam we trust.
We trust. Well, I suppose you're all I have left.
Well, you want to run to the quartermaster with us, or if you want to take off and get some shut-eye, we won't fault you for it.
Right behind you, Governor.
All right.
Glad we know what you're good at, though, because I think we're going to have to make each other count if we want to turn this situation into a win for us.
Oh, we're proper fucked if we don't.
Right?
So you guys are heading to the quartermaster, right?
Yes, we are.
All right. As you guys are making your way across the courtyard, you see a young civilian woman come up to you. She's got black hair with kind of blue tint. She's wearing blue lipstick. She's got blue eyes. She's wearing a collar. She's kind of wearing a black leather trench coat and some workman's gloves and some slacks. And
Go on.
huh? What'd you say? You want a picture?
Yes.
Yeah.
Emily's like, I'm interested.
Go
Hey,
on.
baby.
Hey, baby. Hey, baby. Hey.
This is not going to
Now
be one of
that
those
song.
campaigns where we
Look.
just sleep with everybody.
Look, boys say.
Oh, maybe it is. I don't know.
You see
With a picture like that.
You
yeah.
speak for yourself. I got 18 charisma. And a dragon for a best friend.
So she walks up to you and let's see here. All right, so she walks up to you, Tex, and she says, "Thank you for your service to Susquehanna. I just want to let you know I will keep you in my prayers to Iomade each night. You saved us all, or at least you helped." And when she does that, she gives you a big hug. She just walks up and puts an arm around your waist.
Oh, well, around my waist?
Mm-hmm.
She bends real far down.
I was like, so she lays on the ground?
She definitely kind of squats
picks you
over.
up.
Yeah, no, well, thank you so much, man. I give her a pat, on the shoulder, edge around to the back a little bit.
Yavari wants to sense motive.
Yeah, you can do that. While what's
You
your
can do
name,
a sense motive if you want. She says, "Oh, my name's Anicia. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet
What's
you.
your name?"
I'm Tex Arcana, and he takes his hat off, bows down.
Oh, Tex, that's a beautiful name. Thank you so much. And kind of patting you, kind of continuing to pat you on the back. What'd you get on that sense motive there, Yavari?
Yavari thinks she has real pretty hair with a 9.
Mm-hmm, you do, and she does have really pretty hair. You're right about that. Okay, yeah, and so she's just, and then she says, "Oh, and talk to me about the rest of you. You all helped. As I said, my name is Anicia. It's a pleasure to meet you. What about the rest of you?"
Call me Vinny, love.
Vinny, yeah, you seem like a right good chap. Although I haven't quite seen anybody that looks quite like you around these parts.
Well, you probably won't.
Well, I have now, eh? And she goes to kind of give you a pat on the back.
All right, little touchy-feely there, love, but sure, okay.
Okay, and
This
then
bitch gonna rob us blind.
Yeah,
what about you, ma'am? What's your name?
I'm Natasi. I kept the rest of them alive while we were crossing the bridge. I'm a battle trauma nurse.
Oh, so you're the real hero. And she comes up and like tries to give you a handshake.
Don't fucking touch me.
Oh, right. No.
I like this one.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Don't touch the goods.
Yeah, I didn't mean no harm.
Hey, no harm, no foul. Just now you know.
Okay.
I don't. Whoa! I went Mike real hard.
Oh, this is gonna be so much fun.
Rein it in, boys.
Look now. I appreciate your warm welcome, your tidings of goodwill, and all that. My party is a little frazzled right now, as am I. We've been blown up, we've been stabbed, we've been beat up by bugs. So I don't mean to be too forward, but is there something we could help you with, ma'am?
Well, no, there's nothing I really need. I just wanted to say thanks for the help and that we're counting on you to get us out of this mess. What I need everybody to do is roll perception checks.
Check your pockets.
I was about to say, don't count on us.
All right.
That's a 23 from Sig.
I am pulling out a D20 a different one to help break the streak.
Nat 1, here we go.
Good luck, Steve. That's a...
It popped out of my tray, but it did land on a face. And that was a natural 19.
Yeah, buddy.
There we go.
Yeah, buddy.
We'll take it.
He's back.
Hey, you know what, Steve? Don't worry about it, because I got a nat 1.
Oh!
Passing it back.
What about you, Vin? What'd you get?
Vinny got a 14.
14 total?
Oh, it's a 27, by the way.
And so you got a 19 total, or what's your total there, Steve?
27.
27.
Mystics
So here's the thing.
dude.
I am a medical professional. I'm a legitimate doctor. And I just watched someone's leg fall off and have no clue what's happening. But as an android who's supposed to be very bad at like people
reading
skills,
people,
fucking crush it on the perception.
Well, you notice as she's patting down Tex that she lifts the little cred stick that y'all just got right out of his back pocket, and you see
I fucking pull a gun on her
Oh, hell no.
immediately.
Did I notice with a 23?
No, you did not.
I didn't notice with a 23.
No, she's pretty good at this. Very luckily noticed, and she holds up her hands, and with a shrug and a smirk, she says, "Well, it's hard times out there, soldier. I mean, something like this will be worth triple in a few days. Can't blame a girl for trying, can you? I'm just an aspiring businesswoman. You know, no harm, no foul." And she like goes to hand it
My
back.
aching ass, bitch.
I'm not a fucking soldier. If you don't want to get your head caved in by my good friend Betty, you better leave.
All right. And she like hands you back the cred stick to Tex, and she just kind of backs away slowly. She's like, "Well, thank you for not killing me, and we'll see you, I guess." And
Let's not rule that option out.
and she just kind of
I cast fatigue on her.
She walks away slowly.
Spike casting.
and she just kind of floats back into the crowd.
Yeah.
Well, she's really tired when she does.
Man, if I had a couple more beers than me, if I had a couple more beers than me, I would have fucking mind thrusted her.
Well, maybe that's a little much. Good.
Right.
Hey, thank you so much, though. That was awesome that you caught that.
Oh yeah. Thank you. Not a problem, Tex.
Look,
I didn't want I didn't want some ruffian lifting your credits that you worked very hard for.
Yeah, well, and I'll try and keep an eye out. Now I know it's like I'm in a foreign country and they got signs for pickpockets everywhere.
Yeah, she was a right cunt.
Yeah.
Got her.
Yeah, you did. You caught her for sure. And,
Ladies and gentlemen, we got her.
We got him.
We got him.
Yeah. Okay. So you managed to get out of that with your stuff, and you make your way to the fort's quartermaster. And when you kind of step into the tent, you see a spry Yusoki named Jankser. It's a female Yusoki. and she's operating out of this mobile tech station in the back of like a half-track SDF vehicle with a tent, kind of like a tarp over the top of it. And when you approach, you can hear the sounds of a matter printer humming away as she smooths down a piece of metal with a belt sander. As you approach, she looks up to greet you with a toothy grin, and she says, "Oh, you must be the group that just made it across the bridge. Greetings. Hopefully the commander sets you up with an allowance by now." And Jankser gestures at a few plastic containers in the vehicle behind her. "I've got most of the standard issue equipment, but if you want something specially made, it'll take me a couple hours to print it up. I could probably do it about 2 custom items for you. Also, I could slag anything you don't want." I just spit all over my mic.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
I hate it.
Look, as soon as she gets done talking, like, Tex raises his eyebrows, and Incompetech says, "Oh, I see we got somebody with some culture around here. You wouldn't be from the Actonian homeworld, would you?"
"Oh, well, my family's from there, but I left when I was just a young little rouseling, and I didn't like Actonia too much, not enough to do. So I've been here with the STF for quite some time."
Well, it's just nice to hear someone that speaks the language.
Is it
I can't
nice?
I can't say that I speak it very well. You see,
All right,
I was
well,
born
just
with
ruin
this.
my bit.
I am so glad that I saved that mind thrust because
Here it comes.
Here comes.
But it's a real pleasure to hear the mother tongue. I haven't heard it in a long time. So you've made this rat's day, and I appreciate it.
Well, if there's anything in particular you think we ought to check out, and if you wanted to throw us a little discount, it wouldn't hurt my feelings. I will roll if you want me to. I'm trying to
I
get
mean, I'll let
a
you
discount.
roll. It's going to be a high roll because they ain't got a lot to give, but I'll let you roll.
All right, cool. Just straight diplomacy? Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not lying or anything.
No, yeah.
That's a 19 on the die, baby.
So
for
what's the
a
total?
27.
Not going to get it. DC 30.
Bullshit.
and she said,
so good.
I know, and she says, "Oh, listen, you're a sweetheart. Yes, you are. But I just can't do it because there's not enough here. But I will tell you what I can do." And she gives you a wink. And she says, I'll give you each a clip or a magazine for free. How's that sound?
I said, perfect, right?
Perfect.
That's mighty kind of you, ma'am. I really appreciate that. I desperately need one for my pistola here.
So what Jankser can do for you is basically she could get you any first or second level basic melee weapons, small arm or long arm, and suits of armors that are, first and second level. So basically anything out of the CRB. She can craft most technological items, weapons, and armor up to third level. However, the matter printer can't produce magical or hybrid items. You can charge all your batteries and environmental protections for free here. And of course, you can trade in any items that you want for 10% of their value in UPBs. You can kind of decide what you want to do, and we'll handle that off air as well. But you do have kind of a basic armory here. And she says,
And one thing I'll tell you too is that it's not really worth spending all your monies on medical supplies, as that we have plenty of medics here that can patch you up whatever you'll need it.
Love, they've made fantastic strides in the dental industry.
Oh, well, I think it gives
After
me
this whole war thing settles down, just, think about it. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, but I think it gives me a bit of character, don't you think?
I can't help but agree. It really does.
I like
Yavari is standing
like
back there, and
Tex.
she visibly shivers. Like, just...
I'm just trying to do damage control here from the person I just got a fucking, something free off of.
You're right. You're right.
So you'll be able to, spend that as you see fit. And as I said, we'll kind of handle that off air.
Cool.
And so I guess, you probably really want to get a rest, I imagine,
Yes.
huh?
Yes.
At this point.
So when you get to the barracks, it's a large open building filled with bunk beds. As you might expect, you can get a full long rest here, removing any exhausted or fatigue condition that you might have. The beds aren't comfortable, being standard military issue, but at this point, it doesn't matter. It feels good as all your muscles just kind of sigh in collective relief as you lay down for the night. There's also SDF medics on hand to treat any wounds that you might have, so you guys can get all the way back to full health if you aren't already. And the next morning, bright and early, Lieutenant Gorham wakes you up again, and he says, "Midnight Squad, Commander Najiri would like to speak to you again in 1 hour, so please be prompt for her meeting." And then you kind of have the day here in the morning to kind of head out into the courtyard, see what the haps is.
For an hour.
For an hour.
The haps.
The whole haps for an hour.
I just want to address something because it's too cute not to bring up. In my head canon, like whenever we go and rest in our area for the night or whatever, like I just see it in my head that like Tex curls up in the like wingspan embrace of Yavari and that is reflected by my Squawk's companion being curled up in my embrace. It's like a Russian doll situation.
I keep forgetting you have a Squawk's companion.
You have
Show
a Squawk?
me the fan art.
Yeah.
We need it. We need
That's
it.
like Sig and Betty.
Yeah.
Sig's cuddled up to Betty.
Natasi's cuddled up to her pistol. Like, that's what I envision.
No, she's cuddled up to her syringes.
Yeah, that's
Pile of syringes. She sleeps in a pile of syringes.
It's completely dark in the barracks at night, and there's just the glow from her one red eye.
Oh, God.
Vin is like just sprawled out haphazardly halfway off of the bed and snores extremely loud.
Look, I live with John, dude. I don't need any more.
Yeah.
I live with myself,
Yeah, Adam, you're rough, man.
I know. I almost die every night.
I concern for you.
Maybe you guys shouldn't drink.
Wear the sleep mask.
You got the apneas.
It's the only way I don't wake myself up, Griffin.
That ship has sailed, Griff.
The most severe sleep apnea.
Yeah. So the next morning, as you kind of step outside into the cold weather of Siskillen, the sun's out, still cold. You see that crowd has gathered around a central figure standing on a wooden crate that elevates him a few feet above everyone else. It's a human man with thinning hair, wearing a dirty lab coat. And there's quite a crowd around him, kind of watching him as he speaks. What do y'all do?
What's all this then? Vin will say and point at the crowd.
I don't know, but I'm gonna mosey on up to it, see what's going on, because I'm little. Nobody will see me.
It's okay.
I'll follow. Vin will follow.
So yeah, as you guys get closer, you can see that on this dirty lab coat that he's wearing, it has on his pockets a security ID from his place of employment, Bronze Beam Research Consortium. And there's a picture on it with his name printed underneath, and it says Lochwert Z. Lochwert, Z. And let me show you what this guy looks like before you can kind of hear the speech that he's giving to everybody here. But this is the man you see on this.
Don't like it.
Yeah, he's got a real leathery face, kind of a weird sneer, big fat lips, kind of receding hairline, kind of grimy looking dude. And
Dude needs an exfoliator. Harsh.
Yeah. And he's kind of speaking to this gathered group of civilians, and you see a couple soldiers on the outside of the civilians just kind of looking a little nervous. And you hear this man say, "The SDF forces here have no idea what is actually happening. I worked with military intelligence in Brnoa for the last 6 months, and the amount they discovered about the swarm in that time couldn't fill a child's datapad. The psychic connection we observed in swarm subjects is stronger here on Suskilin than anywhere else in the Vast. The swarm has fortified its components' minds, bolstered its numbers, and taken the capital and probably 2/3 of the entire planet. We are outgunned here, and the only option we have is to run or die. If you think the 100 or so soldiers here will protect you, you are sorely mistaken. If they wanted, the swarm could storm these fortifications and drag every one of us out here in our sleep." The crowd erupts in cries of fear and anger. Some of them begin to push one another, and a few nearby soldiers grip their rifles tightly in anticipation of a riot. A small handful of civilians break off from the group and block your way, demanding information or action. What do you do?
Wait, who blocks us?
A couple civilians that are riled up like this. He's like, frothing them into a frenzy, inciting a riot here, using fear-mongering.
Yeah, well, that's okay. Out of character. That's the problem I have. I kind of don't disagree with him. But as a character, like, I don't like this fucking fear-mongering, whipping people up into, a murderous rage kind of thing. So, like, what do y'all think? Because I want to intervene.
Yeah, your characters know that he's speaking the truth, but you're also representative of the STF, and you have to decide, it's probably a bad situation, but is this making it worse or better? And then what are you going to do about it in response there?
Sigurd is a trained prison guard. He raises Betty. At this violence kind of pointed his direction, he raises Betty almost reflexively.
Okay.
Whoa, now, everybody calm down. Calm the fuck down, all right? Look, we are all in this thing together, all right? We all got to unite if we hope to stand any chance. Yeah, we're in dire straits. Yeah, we're under-resourced and undermanned. But if we don't pull together, we don't have a chance in hell. And this feller up here just whipping y'all into a froth, all he's gonna do is get you killed by each other. Now, how
Texas
fucking
seems like they
want to
see what the soldiers can do.
Roll a diplomacy check.
Okay.
Tex.
I'm just trying to be the great uniter here. That is a 22 total.
22. You see the crowd kind of start looking at each other and calming down. And one of them shouts, "Well, what are we supposed to do? We're sitting ducks here. I mean, yes, are you going to protect us?"
I'm a help. You better believe it.
Oh, okay.
We're going. What you need to do is band together, look out for each other. Let's get together, build some fortifications where we can. All right.
As the crowd seems to the agitation of the crowd seems to deflate, everybody roll a perception check.
Alrighty.
A natural 20.
That's a natty 19.
Natural
Unfortunately,
20.
so I don't get on the board. That's a 24.
Another 14. Another 14.
That's a 22 total.
So Tex, you kind of see that as you've kind of moved the crowd into the palm of your hand, that this loachwork guy kind of scurries off as everybody's distracted and kind of tucks his tail between his legs and scurries off, but he kind of giving you and your crew a glare as he does. Yeah, scowls and just kind of mumbling under his breath. Oh, well, they have no idea.
Hey, you watch your fucking mouth, chap.
And he just keeps walking and stops looking at you with that threat.
Hey, we definitely need to keep eyes on him.
Can we tell what direction he's going in? Building wise or anything?
There's the barracks for the soldiers, and then there's a big tent of just cots for civilians, and so he's just going to that area there. He's just kind of backing down from his soapbox and realize that he's not going to go up against this. After this happens, you see Natasha. You see one of the medics from the day before that was working on the leg come up to you, and she says to you, she says to all of you, kind of looking at Tex, but she seems to feel comfortable with you because she recognizes you, the medic. But she says, Dr. Lochworth has been stirring up trouble since he got here. Last time, a handful of people ended up with black eyes and broken noses. But since we won't need them this time, why don't you take these serums of healing? And she hands you a satchel containing 3 Mark 1 serums of healing.
Yeah.
Natasha will crack open the satchel, look into it, raise an eyebrow. Are you sure your leader and commander does not need these supplies?
They're mine to distribute as I see fit, and you have saved quite a lot of injury here by breaking this up, so I think that you've earned them.
Wonderful. I'll be sure to put them to good use for Midnight Squadron. We take a beating.
Well, sometimes give one.
Sometimes.
Less often than take. We
on occasion.
Yeah.
I like the name, Midnight Squad. Got a good ring to it.
Hey, you've been hanging out with us for a little while. You want to be Midnight Squad?
I reckon I got no other choice, mate.
Well, you got to stay up till midnight.
Well, to celebrate that,
It's part of the rules.
the full formation of the Midnight
jump
Squad,
you in.
I'm going to give everybody an inspiration. So go ahead.
Yeah. Nice.
And if this is your first time listening to Southern Tomfoolery, what we do on that show is give out inspiration. So they start at +2, but once you get to level 3, they go up to +3.
Well, I'm gonna save mine till level 3 then.
So yeah, you can just draw a card out there, just to kind of mark it on Roll20, and so you now each have those, and you roll that before before rolling any D20 of your choice, right? But you have to use it before the roll. So that hour's coming up on you. You've made your requisition form request with the Yosoki, your favorite, with Jankser. With Janksa. And so you return to Commander Najiri's new office, and when the lieutenant opens the door, you see her practicing a few sidekicks, and she's still a little off balance, but she's trying to break in her new prosthetic leg. The chamber has been tidied a bit, the blood's gone, the ruined leg is gone, and you see a holographic map of the surrounding region projected onto one wall. And as you look, you can see that the map shows that the Swarm is winning this war. That it's color-coded to see that the Swarm has basically literally covered 2/3 of the planet. And it doesn't look like that's going down anytime soon.
Oh, we're so fucked.
Yeah, it's so bad.
If not for the knowledge that we're in an AP, it's let's just go.
Yeah.
Hey,
Y'all
maybe
want to
just leave,
suicide
right?
pact right now, or what?
Well,
let's do
the
it.
problem is, there's nowhere to go.
We're going to find
Commander
another planet where it's midnight and head there.
So Commander Najiri offers you all small tin cups filled with hot coffee. And she speaks to you and she says, "Earlier this morning, I received a call from President Daglan. Suskillen is lost." And she gestures at the map. "In a few days, this is all going to be Swarm country.
but we still have a lot of work to do before we let them have it. Get suited up, because we're scuttling the fort in an hour to make our way west via convoy into the Satar region to assist with the planetary evacuation. It is the end of this world, soldiers. It is time for us to leave. And she dismisses you without giving you time for any further questions, explaining that she has to give orders to the rest of the camp and notify the civilians. At this time, you can return to the quartermaster and receive all the new equipment that you ordered. And if you wish, you can volunteer to help the civilians pack up into large armored personnel carriers. The mood is very, very grim.
When I can, I'd bring it to the party, but particularly Sigurd and my boon companion. I'd be like, look, you guys are kind of the muscle here. I think we should help these people out as much as we could. It'd go a long way to endear them to us, at least in the short term.
Hey, if I got the star here by my side, I'm 100% in.
Well,
I'm always happy to help.
You know what else I have to do? Real quick, gotta take a pee. I'll be right back. Had a lot of whiskey. Just give me like 2 minutes.
All right, so you guys are helping out the crew. Sigurd is going to take a leak somewhere off on the side. Hopefully he doesn't get eaten by a swarm. You know, that's how everybody dies in these kind of things. They go, they break from the party, they go off by themselves, and they get
Is this
eaten.
a horror movie? Because I'm the only red guy. Kind of worried.
Fucking Christ.
I need you to give me your inspiration back, Griffin. You're done.
I'll take 2, thanks.
So yeah, I mean, the mood is real bad. Now, I will say that you see Anisha helping out too. You know what I mean? You guys kind of see, and I'll tell you who you don't see helping out is the doctor, Loachwort. He's just kind of like, he's got people helping him, and he's just kind of like complaining about his back or something, and he's not really doing. He's like already sitting on one of the convoy trucks. You know,
look, I'm not a big tough guy, but I wouldn't be mad if one of you big tough guys went and fucking at least scolded him. You know,
he's kind of far off. You know, you would definitely be like making a point to do that. Now you're more than welcome to do that, but just kind of giving you the picture here. The commander, she's up at the front of the convoy, and the lieutenant comes back to you. Lieutenant Gorham comes back to you and says, "Your assignment will be to be in the rear guard. I would like you to operate the mounted weapons on this SDF mobile Striker." And it's like, this is one of the more heavily armored assault vehicles that have seen a lot of use during this war. The Striker already has a driver, a tired-looking human soldier, and there's a pair of machine guns and a pair of flak cannons mounted on the back of it. So there's like 4 like gunnery positions on the back. You guys can choose whichever ones you want to mount up on, as you know, for this convoy.
Which one has the highest built-in to hit to it?
So the flak cannons are for like defensive.
They're shotguns.
Yeah. Well, they're like for defensive like measures against things being attacked at you, right? They can shoot stuff out of the air. Their idea is to kind of like give, you know, I mean, that's like, think about the flak cannons on your starships, you know, that they're like there to distract torpedoes.
It's like
or
chaff.
something. Yeah, right. And then the machine guns look the same. It's just a pair of the same type of machine guns. Big mounted heavy weapons there.
So look, I mean, metagaming, the people with the highest deck should be on the machine guns.
All right. I got a
have a
plus
plus
3
3.
and I have a full BAB.
I don't have a full BAB, so just a plus 3.
I have a plus 3 as well.
So I'll take a machine gun.
My ranged attack is at a plus 2, so I'm either the odd man out or maybe on a flak.
What about you, Emily?
She's strength
Yavari's
character.
got a plus 1 to dex.
Okay.
But you have a plus 1 BAB, so you're even with Natasi.
Yeah.
Let's have you jump on the cannon then instead of me. I'm a support character anyway in combat, so it wouldn't make sense for the soldier to like kind of hang out. You know what I'm saying? Like thematically, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Well, and you're good at perception, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So you keep eyes out for the situation. What's going on?
Just eye out, but yes.
You take
just one.
Yeah,
eye.
one eye. I'm sorry. But yeah, you take kind of the captain role in this situation. We'll all jump on a gun.
So, which of does our drow or halfling friend want to take the other machine gun?
I'll take the other machine gun. That's something that Vin would be into.
I'll take a flat cannon. I like that.
Sig would be like, watch and learn, buddy. Let's go, Vin.
Let's get it. Oh, no, I'm talking to Or. God damn it. This is going to be so hard, man.
You gotta just,
I'm working on it, bro. Come on, man. I'm working on it.
No, you're doing
We're going to
fine,
workshop
that's what I'm
this.
saying.
It's fine. I've heard you talk a lot of ways.
So we get a +1 because the two soul bonded people are both on the flat cannons, right? Or no, you're a flat cannon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is that an actual thing, or are you just trying to get one over on me?
Yes.
Yes. Wink.
Well said.
So let's put you on kind of a world map. How's that sound?
Ooh.
I love it.
Situational.
Okay. So the convoy begins in earnest, right? And it's heading west on roads and highways that have been cleared of vehicles. You guys kind of see Fort Gallant recede away from you, as that was like the last defensible position, and it kind of sinks into you all that like you are giving up on Siskillen. Like, this is full retreat. We are evacuating the planet, like wholesale evacuation. And I want to know, like, how are each of your characters feeling about that? So I'm going to start with Sigurd. Like, what is Sigurd feeling about, the swarm invasion, what's happened so far, and the fact that this whole planet is being conceded to the swarm?
I think Sigurd is falling apart a little bit mentally. I think he tries to keep like the, I am the shield that blocks for the rest of the party.
The realms of men.
The realm. I'm the shield of the realm. He tries to keep that persona up, but it might be in tandem with the entropy that he's dealing with, that he's finding like within him, that he's using extensively here. And it's just like, it's fucking with his head a little bit. Things are getting fuzzy. Things are getting a little bit more chaotic. He's feeling like he came from being a prison guard. He understands guarding things. He doesn't understand retreating. And I think that's what's eating him. And he's, in his head, that gray swirl that he brings on his weapons is swirling around his neurons, and it's tearing him apart a little bit.
Tough. What about Tex?
Tex is a former outlaw who's trying to make, if not a better, a more noble and purposeful life for himself, which was spurred by his relationship with his dragon companion here. So, in a weird way, he's kind of like, he's high on the purpose of it all. This is a noble purpose to him. He is about it. Even if it seems like the situation is dire, he wants to be as useful and as heavily involved as he can. And also, what we're driving into feels very much like outlaw country,
Outlaw country.
So it's not so much that he's in a good mood, it's that he feels like he can make a difference here.
So he's kind of steeling himself for what's to come.
Yeah.
Okay, so as the two of you are thinking this, you kind of hear over the comm units basically a countdown starting for the controlled explosion of Fort Gallant. And so you guys are having these thoughts. How is Yavari feeling about all this?
So Yavari would kind of be like checking in on Tex a little bit and seeing that he's kind of, like you said, not excited necessarily, but kind of hopped up on the purpose of it. She's nervous. She's very, very nervous. Not only because one of her prime directives, her personal prime directives, is to keep Tex safe. And also the other people who are like under her wing, as it were. Not only the other members of the party, but the other civilians. You know, she would have been helping them pack and get everything kind of get out of there as quickly as possible. And I mean, she's really worried because the map pretty much showed it all. You know, this place is fucking gone. It's done. So she's just trying to keep her head on a swivel, keep an eye out on Tex because God knows what he'll do.
He hasn't made it easy on you at all.
He hasn't made it easy.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's nervous.
So as the cold wind bites through your skin, how is Cora 6 to some, Natasi to others feeling about this?
So, yes, I imagine it's kind of like when you're driving in the Warthog in Halo. The one like useless person in the shotgun seat who's like kind of propped up a little bit.
Yeah.
That's kind of her. So yeah, you're right. Just cold air blowing over her, but she's not. When she's exhaling into the cold, she doesn't produce anything. Actually, I said that incorrectly. She's not even exhaling.
Right.
She's got this real uncanny valley thing going, and if you were to peer inside her head a little bit, it almost doesn't register at all to her that the planet is falling or what that means. Honestly, she doesn't care. Like, she has seen so much death and loss either on the battlefield or on her own operating table that that the planet is just kind of inconceivable to her. It's just a big statistic. Like, she's locked into this squad. She's locked into the survivors from this fort that we just left. She's going to try and keep them alive, and that is her prime directive. There's no empathy for the 2/3 of the world that have already fallen. It's just the here now, and we need to get out.
The countdown's ticking. About 30 seconds left. What is our newest member of the Midnight Squad feeling? Vin, you just kind of joined up after losing your last squad. How are you feeling about this?
Well, Vin is first of all filled with a lot of regret for having joined up with the STF in the first place, because that was a fucking nightmare. But he also knows the planet is lost and is overjoyed to be getting the fuck off this god's forsaken rock.
Heard that.
Look, Zach, you need to chill out. The STF is a moderately successful podcast that you're a part of, okay?
Yeah, dude, stop shitting in your own. Don't shit where you eat.
Right. Don't shit where you eat, man. Sorry.
Yeah, so you guys are all kind of in your thoughts thinking about this, hoping, to any deities that you might worship or internalizing whatever you need to just kind of steel yourself to get off, because you know that the swarm is coming. And being in the rear guard, you guys have the perfect view as you see that the encampment is engulfed in an explosion as the fort explodes. Just like as the countdown goes down, is that you know that the third battalion is doing their thing with their bombs, and Fort Gallant falls. Now, this was a controlled fall by the SDF, but it's a visceral reminder that everything is lost. And you guys kind of just sit there quietly watching as the smoke pours from Fort Gallant. The sound kind of resonates through the desert, the landscape, and then it becomes eerily silent, but for the wind that's blowing.
And Creedence Clearwater Revival starts playing.
About an hour after the convoy has left Fort Gallant, you start to hear a distant buzzing. Growing louder and louder. But this isn't the buzzing of a singular swarm component that you've heard before. This is like, as it grows louder, it starts actually vibrating a little bit in your chest. And you see a small swarm starship crest the frozen hillside behind you and approaching the convoy from the rear. As it gets closer, the vessel launches a pulsing green torpedo. The weapon explodes only a few dozen feet away, engulfing the cabin of your mobile striker in a gout of acid. The driver screams as his flesh melts away from his face in pain and then slumps lifeless against the steering yoke, causing the vehicle to list to one side. And I need you to finish your drinks because we'll fucking see you.
Oh my
What
God.
are these flat cannons even for?
For getting acided on, I guess. You know what, Adam? We will see. We'll see you.
Yeah, we'll see if we see you.
We will see if we see
God.
And
So
this
we're fighting a
concludes the attack of the
starship?
swarm.
you. Question: are you supposed to be able to
More like
win
Attack of
this?
the OPGM bullshit.
Yes.